but it's clean.
Oh, Gunther, I can't hear you. Please speak up.
Thief, I want that locker.
You want that locker?
I want that locker.
Okay, for you, I won't bid.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, I'm telling you right now, I'm buying it.
Well, if you're buying, I'm bidding. If Gunther bids, I'm not.
One cast member barely survived a brutal attack. Another's addiction led to a horrifying end. And the health crisis that destroyed a fan favorite will leave you speechless. These aren't just rumors. These are the devastating real-life stories that the show tried to hide. You won't believe what happened to your favorite Storage Wars stars. The reality television industry often presents a polished version of people's lives.
Wow. Renee, I changed my mind. I'm not bidding on this one. This looks like absolute trash. How you doing, Gunther? How's it going, buddy?
Hi, very well,
Good
thank
to
you.
see you. Good
Yeah.
to see you.
All right, Dad, come on.
Where are we going? Where are we going, Gunther?
But the cast members of Storage Wars have experienced very real struggles that extend far beyond the drama of storage unit auctions. Medical emergencies, legal battles, and personal demons have affected multiple stars from the show, creating a pattern that has surprised both fans and industry observers. These events serve as reminders that fame and television success don't protect anyone from life's most difficult challenges. Dave Hester became one of the most recognizable faces of Storage Wars from the very first season. His aggressive bidding style and famous catchphrase made him a central figure in the show's success. Viewers came to expect his bold personality and competitive approach to every auction he attended. Dave never held back when it came to pursuing the storage units he wanted, and his confrontational style often created tension that made for compelling television. His presence added an element of unpredictability to each episode, as other bidders knew they would face serious competition whenever Dave was involved. However, Dave's relationship with the show became complicated when he made public accusations about the production process. In 2012, he claimed that the storage units featured on the show were deliberately filled with valuable items by the production team to create more exciting television content. These allegations created significant controversy within the reality television industry and led to a major legal dispute between Dave and the network. The situation resulted in his temporary removal from the show, leaving many viewers uncertain about whether they would see him return to the auction circuit. The legal battle surrounding Dave's claims highlighted ongoing questions about the authenticity of reality television programming. While the network disputed his allegations, the controversy brought attention to industry practices and the extent to which reality shows might be influenced by production decisions. Dave's willingness to challenge the network publicly demonstrated his determination to speak what he believed was the truth, regardless of the potential consequences for his television career. Despite eventually returning to Storage Wars, Dave's most serious challenge came from an unexpected source. He suffered a hemorrhagic stroke, a medical emergency that occurs when blood vessels in the brain rupture and cause bleeding. In Dave's case, medical professionals determined that the stroke was caused by a combination of long-term high blood pressure and untreated sleep apnea. Both conditions are serious health issues that can develop gradually over time without obvious symptoms, making them particularly dangerous. The stroke struck suddenly and severely affected Dave's ability to function. He lost the ability to speak and move normally, conditions that required immediate medical intervention. Doctors initially expressed uncertainty about his chances of survival, creating a period of intense worry for his family and fans. The severity of his condition highlighted how quickly a person's life can change, even someone who appeared healthy and energetic on television just days before. Recovery from a hemorrhagic stroke typically involves a long and challenging rehabilitation process. Dave had to relearn basic functions that most people take for granted, including speaking and coordinated movement. This type of medical recovery requires tremendous determination and patience, as progress often comes in small increments over months or years. Physical therapy, speech therapy, and other specialized treatments became regular parts of Dave's life as he worked to regain his independence. The combination of Dave's previous legal controversies and his sudden health crisis led some fans to speculate about whether there might be some kind of curse affecting Storage Wars cast members. While such theories lack any factual basis, they reflect the genuine concern that viewers felt as they watched someone they had come to know through television face such serious challenges. Dave's situation became a reminder that television personalities are real people who face the same health risks and life uncertainties as everyone else. Mark Balelo brought a different kind of energy to Storage Wars with his flamboyant style and confident personality. Known by the nickname Rico Suave, Mark made every auction appearance memorable through his theatrical approach to bidding and his obvious enjoyment of being in the spotlight. His strategy involved not just finding valuable items, but also creating entertainment value through his bold presence and dramatic bidding style. Fans quickly learned that auctions became more lively and unpredictable whenever Mark participated. Mark's background revealed an entrepreneurial spirit that extended well beyond his television appearances. Born in Portugal and having spent time in Brazil before moving to the United States, he brought an international perspective to his business ventures. He successfully operated both a video game store and an auction house, demonstrating his understanding of collectibles markets and his ability to identify valuable items. His business acumen was perhaps best demonstrated when he helped recover a rare Action Comics issue for actor Nicolas Cage, a transaction that highlighted his expertise in high-value collectibles. Unfortunately, Mark's personal life was far more complicated than his confident television persona suggested. In 2016, he was arrested on charges related to methamphetamine possession and being under the influence of controlled substances. This arrest revealed a pattern of legal troubles and personal struggles that had been hidden from public view during his time on Storage Wars. The charges also brought attention to mental health challenges that Mark had been facing privately, while maintaining his public image as a successful businessman and television personality. The pressures of maintaining a television career while dealing with personal demons proved to be overwhelming. In 2018, Mark was found dead in his car from carbon monoxide poisoning at the age of just 40 years old. The circumstances of his death shocked both fans and colleagues who remembered him for his humor, charm, and apparent success in the auction business. His passing raised difficult questions about the relationship between fame, personal struggles, and the pressure to maintain a public image that might not reflect private realities. Mark's death highlighted the hidden challenges that can affect people in the entertainment industry. While viewers saw his confident, entertaining personality on screen, they had no way of knowing about the personal battles he was fighting behind the scenes. His story became a reminder that television success and business achievements don't necessarily protect someone from addiction, mental health issues, or other personal struggles that can prove fatal. The loss of Mark Balelo represented more than just the death of a television personality. His expertise in collectibles and his genuine passion for the auction business had made him a respected figure in those communities beyond his television fame. His ability to identify valuable items and his knowledge of rare collectibles had earned him recognition from serious collectors and industry professionals. His death therefore represented the loss of someone who had made genuine contributions to the fields he was passionate about. These stories of Dave Hester's health crisis and Mark Balelo's tragic death illustrate the very real challenges that can affect people in the public eye. While Storage Wars provided entertainment and escapism for millions of viewers, the cast members were dealing with the same types of serious life issues that affect people everywhere. Their experiences serve as reminders that fame and television success don't provide protection from health emergencies, addiction, legal troubles, or other personal struggles that can affect anyone. The challenges faced by Storage Wars cast members extend beyond individual health crises to include stories of both loss and remarkable survival. These experiences have shaped not only the lives of those directly involved, but also the broader community of fans who have followed their journeys through multiple seasons of the show. The reality of life behind the cameras continues to reveal itself through events that no script could have anticipated. Gunter Nazoda joined Storage Wars in its 4th season alongside his son Rene, bringing a different dynamic to the show's established cast. Unlike some of the more aggressive personalities that viewers had become accustomed to, Gunter was known for his calm demeanor and professional approach to the auction process. He demonstrated a genuine love for the hunt itself, treating each storage unit as an opportunity to discover something interesting, rather than simply focusing on potential profits. His enthusiasm for the process was infectious, and viewers appreciated his honest reactions to both successful finds and disappointing purchases. The relationship between Gunter and his son Rene added a family element to the show that resonated with many viewers. Their partnership demonstrated how family members could work together effectively in a competitive environment while maintaining respect for each other and their fellow bidders. Gunter's approach to mentoring his son in the auction business provided educational value for viewers who were interested in learning about the industry beyond the entertainment aspects of the show. Gunter's personality made him a stabilizing presence during auctions that could otherwise become heated or overly competitive. His sense of humor and kind nature helped diffuse tense situations and made him well-liked by both cast members and crew. He treated the auction process as both a business opportunity and a form of entertainment, maintaining a perspective that kept the experience enjoyable, even when deals didn't work out as planned. This balanced approach to the business earned him respect from veteran auction participants and newcomers alike. However, behind his cheerful television persona, Gunter was fighting a serious battle with his health. Years of smoking had taken a significant toll on his respiratory system, eventually leading to a diagnosis of lung cancer. This type of cancer is particularly challenging because it often develops over many years before symptoms become apparent, meaning that by the time it's diagnosed, the disease may have already caused substantial damage to the lungs and surrounding tissues. In Gunter's case, the cancer had created dangerous holes in his lung tissue, a condition that posed immediate life-threatening risks. These perforations in the lungs can lead to collapsed lungs, internal bleeding, and other serious complications that require emergency medical intervention. At one point during his illness, Gunter required emergency surgery to address these complications, highlighting just how serious his condition had become. The surgical procedures necessary to treat advanced lung cancer are complex and carry significant risks, particularly for patients whose lung function has already been compromised by the disease. The progression of Gunter's illness was particularly difficult for his family and colleagues to witness because it contrasted so sharply with the energetic, positive person they knew. Lung cancer often affects patients' energy levels and breathing capacity, making it increasingly difficult to maintain normal activities. For someone like Gunter, who had built a career around the physical demands of moving through storage facilities and handling various items, the limitations imposed by his illness were especially challenging. Despite the medical treatments and his family's support, Gunter's condition continued to deteriorate. He passed away at the age of 67 in Salt Lake City, Utah, leaving behind a legacy of kindness and professionalism that had made him beloved by Storage Wars fans. His death represented a significant loss for the show's community, as viewers had come to appreciate not just his auction skills, but his genuine warmth and humor. The news of his passing was met with an outpouring of support from fans who shared memories of his positive impact on the show. The loss of Gunter Nazoda highlighted the serious health risks associated with long-term smoking and served as a reminder of how lifestyle choices made years earlier can have devastating consequences later in life. His story became part of ongoing public health discussions about smoking cessation and the importance of early medical intervention for respiratory problems. For many viewers, his death was a wake-up call about taking health concerns seriously before they become life-threatening emergencies. While Gunter's story ended in tragedy, another Storage Wars family member experienced a different kind of life-threatening situation that had a more positive outcome. Garrett Dotson, son of cast members Dan and Laura Dotson, faced a terrifying experience that tested his courage and quick thinking under extreme pressure. The incident occurred when Garrett was alone and became the target of a violent attack that could easily have resulted in his death. The attack on Garrett was sudden and unprovoked, occurring when he was in a vulnerable situation without immediate access to help. The perpetrator, later identified as Garrett Wilder, opened fire on Garrett without warning, creating a life-or-death situation that required immediate action. Being shot is traumatic enough under any circumstances, but facing such violence when alone and without backup support makes survival even more challenging. What made Garrett's survival remarkable was not just his physical resilience, but his mental composure during the attack. Despite being seriously injured by gunshot wounds, he managed to maintain enough presence of mind to take action that would save his life. Rather than panicking or becoming immobilized by his injuries, Garrett was able to think clearly about what needed to be done to improve his chances of survival. The specific actions that Garrett took during and immediately after the shooting demonstrated remarkable courage and intelligence under pressure. While dealing with serious injuries and the trauma of being attacked, he managed to contact emergency services and provide them with the information they needed to respond effectively. His ability to communicate clearly about his location and the nature of his injuries likely made the difference between life and death, as every minute counts in situations involving serious gunshot wounds. Emergency responders arrived quickly and were able to provide the immediate medical care that Garrett needed to stabilize his condition. The prompt medical attention he received was crucial, as gunshot wounds can cause internal bleeding and other complications that can prove fatal if not treated immediately. The coordination between Garrett's initial call for help and the emergency response demonstrated how individual actions during a crisis can determine the outcome of life-threatening situations. The investigation into the shooting led to the arrest of the perpetrator, providing some measure of justice for Garrett and his family. Law enforcement officers worked to ensure that the person responsible for the attack would face appropriate legal consequences for their actions. While no legal outcome can completely undo the trauma of such an experience, having the attacker apprehended and charged helped provide closure for the Dotson family during their recovery process. The shooting incident had a profound impact on Dan and Laura Dotson, who had spent years sharing their lives with Storage Wars viewers. As parents, watching their son survive such a terrifying experience brought both relief and renewed awareness of how quickly life can change. The public nature of their lives through the television show meant that many fans followed the story and offered support during Garrett's recovery period. Social media responses to news of Garrett's survival were overwhelmingly positive, with fans expressing admiration for his courage and quick thinking during the attack. Many people noted that his actions demonstrated the kind of resilience and determination that his parents had displayed throughout their careers in the auction business. The incident also sparked discussions about violence in society and the importance of emergency preparedness for dangerous situations. The emotional impact of the shooting extended beyond the immediate physical injuries to affect the entire Dotson family's sense of security and well-being. Experiencing such violence can have lasting psychological effects that require ongoing attention and support. The family's willingness to share updates about Garrett's recovery helped fans understand both the immediate and long-term consequences of violent attacks on victims and their families. These stories of loss and survival within the Storage Wars community illustrate the unpredictable nature of life and the various challenges that can affect anyone, regardless of their public profile or apparent success. From Gunter's battle with illness to Garrett's survival of a violent attack, these experiences remind us that real people face real dangers behind the entertainment we see on television. The personal challenges faced by Storage Wars cast members extend beyond medical emergencies and violent attacks to include the psychological pressures of fame and the complex dynamics of maintaining relationships in the public eye. These struggles often develop gradually over time, creating situations that can be just as devastating as sudden crises. Brandy Pisante became one of the most recognizable female faces on Storage Wars through her partnership with Jared Schultz. Their collaborative approach to the auction business and their apparent success as both business partners and romantic partners made them appealing to viewers. Brandy's sharp negotiating skills and strategic thinking complemented Jared's auction style, creating a dynamic that contributed significantly to the show's appeal. The success of their partnership led to additional opportunities within the reality television industry, including a spin-off show that focused specifically on their business operations and relationship dynamics. This additional exposure provided fans with a deeper look into their daily lives and the challenges of running a business while maintaining a romantic relationship. However, increased visibility and fame brought unexpected consequences that significantly impacted Brandy's sense of security and well-being. As her profile grew through television appearances, she began receiving threatening letters from individuals who had become obsessed with her public persona. These threats were serious communications that caused genuine fear for her personal safety and the safety of those around her. The nature of fan obsession in the age of reality television can be particularly intense because viewers develop feelings of familiarity with people they see regularly on their screens. This perceived intimacy can lead some individuals to believe they have a personal relationship with television personalities. When these one-sided emotional connections become unhealthy, they can result in stalking behavior, harassment, and threats that pose real dangers. Brandy's response to these threats demonstrated practical wisdom and an understanding of the serious nature of the situation she faced. Rather than dismissing the threats as empty gestures, she took concrete steps to protect herself by moving to a gated community. This type of residential security provides multiple layers of protection, including controlled access points, security personnel, and surveillance systems that can deter potential threats. Beyond the practical security measures, Brandy recognized that dealing with ongoing threats and harassment had taken a psychological toll that required professional attention. The constant worry about personal safety and the stress of wondering whether threats might escalate to actual violence can create anxiety disorders and other mental health challenges that interfere with daily functioning. Seeking therapy to address these concerns demonstrated both self-awareness and a commitment to maintaining her mental health despite the pressures of public life. Professional counseling provided her with tools for managing stress, processing fears, and developing strategies for maintaining emotional balance while continuing her career. Barry Weiss represented a different type of Storage Wars personality, known for his eccentric approach to auctions and his focus on finding interesting items rather than maximizing profits. His quirky habits and unusual auction tactics, including his use of skeleton gloves and his famous chicken car, made him a fan favorite who brought humor and unpredictability to the show. Unlike many other cast members who were primarily motivated by financial gain, Barry's wealth from previous business ventures allowed him to treat Storage Wars as entertainment and treasure hunting. This freedom from financial pressure enabled him to take risks on unusual storage units and focus on items that captured his curiosity, rather than those with obvious resale value. In 2019, Barry faced a serious challenge when he was involved in a motorcycle accident in Los Angeles that resulted in significant injuries requiring hospitalization. Motorcycle accidents are particularly dangerous because riders lack the protective barriers that surround automobile occupants, making them vulnerable to severe injuries even in relatively minor collisions. News of the accident spread quickly among Storage Wars fans, who were concerned about someone they had come to appreciate for his humor and unique personality. Unfortunately, the concern for Barry's well-being was complicated by the spread of false information on social media platforms. Rumors began circulating that claimed Barry had died from his injuries, causing shock and grief among fans who believed these unverified reports. The false death rumors created additional stress for Barry's family and friends, who had to deal not only with the reality of his injuries and recovery, but also with the need to repeatedly correct misinformation. Social media platforms and news websites that had repeated the false information eventually issued corrections, but the damage caused by the initial misinformation had already affected many people. Fortunately, the rumors proved to be completely false, and Barry was able to recover from his injuries sufficiently to provide updates to fans about his condition. His survival and recovery provided relief to the many people who had been genuinely concerned about his well-being. The relationship between Jared Schultz and Brandy Passante, which had been a central element of their Storage Wars appeal, eventually faced challenges that became public in ways that affected both their personal lives and their professional careers. Their partnership had been built on both romantic and business foundations, creating a complex dynamic that required balancing personal feelings with professional obligations. In 2021, the couple publicly announced their separation, ending a long-term relationship that had been featured prominently on Storage Wars for many years. The breakup was difficult not only for them personally, but also for fans who had followed their relationship and appreciated their teamwork. The end of their romantic relationship created questions about how they would continue working together professionally and whether their separation would affect their participation in the show. The situation became more complicated when they continued filming Storage Wars episodes even after their separation, creating an unusual dynamic that was apparent to viewers who noticed changes in how they interacted on screen. Working with a former romantic partner in any context can be challenging, but doing so while being filmed for television adds additional layers of complexity and potential awkwardness that can affect both professional performance and personal healing. The challenges faced by Jared and Brandi extended beyond their relationship difficulties to include serious allegations that brought legal consequences. Reports surfaced regarding a domestic violence incident involving Jared, with charges being filed that intensified public scrutiny of their situation. Domestic violence allegations are serious matters that require careful legal handling and often have long-lasting effects on all parties involved. During this difficult period, Brandi shared a message on social media indicating that she was safe and managing to cope with the challenging circumstances she faced. While her statement was brief and did not provide detailed information about the situation, it served to reassure fans and colleagues who were concerned about her well-being. The post also drew attention to the very real personal struggles that can occur behind the scenes of reality television, reminding viewers that the people they see on screen face the same types of serious life challenges as anyone else. The public reaction to these developments was intense, as many fans expressed shock and sadness about the end of a relationship they had watched develop over many years. Social media discussions about the situation often included speculation about the pressures of reality television and how fame might affect personal relationships. Some fans felt that the incident changed their perspective on the show and highlighted the differences between what viewers see on screen and the reality of cast members' private lives. These stories of personal struggles, relationship challenges, and the psychological pressures of fame illustrate the complex realities faced by people in the entertainment industry. While Storage Wars provided entertainment and escapism for millions of viewers, the cast members were dealing with very real challenges that extended far beyond the auction houses and storage facilities where they worked.